Hi, this is Dr. J. I am back. You probably have had a chance to see my introductory video, which talks about my greater mission. It also talks about that I'll be bringing varieties of the subjects. Right now, my many yoga videos have been out on basic yogas, sun salutation and moon salutations. But this time, I'm going to start a new series which has been demanded by a popular demand of my followers. They want me to speak on nutrition first. Being a doctor and having a special interest in nutrition, I thought that would be very vital to talk about nutrition. So today I'm going to only talk about the general nutrition, and then we will take each component of the nutrition in the following video series. So let's talk about nutrition. But before I talk about it, let me tell you that what is nutrition. It has, in 1848, German philosopher by name Ludwig Feuerbach, in the context of the stress and turmoil of the German Revolution, used this phrase: we are what we eat. Then decades after that, a scientist wrote, his name is Gilliam McKeith. He wrote a best-selling book. More than 2 million copies were sold. And the book was You Are What You Eat. Since then, it has generated a lot of interest in the general public. And now they think twice, and it has started the thinking process in people's mind before they eat the food. So we are going to talk about the food today, general nutrition. Yeah. Now we can define nutrition in a few different ways. One, something you just take by mouth, the plant or animal, whatever the food. You can say nutrition is a study of nutrients, which are macronutrients and micronutrients. You can say nutrition is by the process by which the plants and animals take the food and process it, and it goes to the cells for getting more energy to repair of the body and growth of the cells. So you can define in many different ways your nutritional thinking. Nutrition is very important, and it has really been the very important vital part of our life force. So what's the main source? Sun. Even for us, yes. How? Directly or indirectly, right? Plants have a process. They use the solar energy and make the food called photosynthesis. And we eat plants. We eat some animals too, but they all take the source of energy from plants. Some plants, very few plants take some energy from the animals. But otherwise, plants get the energy from the sun, and we get the energy from plants. There have been some claims that some yogis can survive just on sunlight and prana. What is prana? The prana force is the life force, is coming from the sun, and they are called breatharians, who live just basically on prana and sunlight. But there are very few, and just for you to know that we humans have ability to also convert the solar energy into the other energies for the cell growth and purpose. But there are relatively few. So now let's go ahead and talk about the nutritional stages. First, ingestion, which is taking the food by mouth. Second is digestion. What happens in this? The large, big, insoluble molecules are broken down into the smaller soluble molecules, enough for for the intestinal cells to absorb. So what happens into this? The grinding, chewing, physical process or the chemical process, which is digestive juices, enzymes. They break down those molecules into the smaller molecules. The third one is absorption. In this, the process by which the transportation from the intestinal cells of this small molecule digestive food gets transported to the bloodstream. Then the fourth is assimilation. What happens in this? In this one, where the assimilation happens, is meaning that which is the absorbed food from the blood is taken into the food by the cells for their growth and the repair and energy. Then egestion. That means the undigested food is thrown out of the body. So these are the stages of the nutrition and basic information about nutrition. And we are almost all aware of it. I'll tell you some nutritional aspects. What we should we should have concerns on. One is adequacy. Food should be taken. All the 6-7 groups of the fruits should be present in our diet. They are macronutrients, that means carbohydrates, protein, fat, and there are micronutrients, which are vitamins, iron, and there are some fibers and water. All these are the parts of our nutrition. Second thing we should keep in mind is balance. We should take all these foods and groups in a proper balance. Depends upon each individual and what are the needs. So certain times and what age they are. But they should be in balance. That certain protein should be such amount, carbohydrates should be such amount, vitamins should be in such amount, minerals should be in such amount. Then comes the calorie count. Calorie count depends on what calories, the amount of the food we take versus how many calories we consume. So it's a direct relation to that, and that's how come it depends on the calorie count each person needs. Then the nutritional density. Every food has a different kind of, in different proportion. Some very densely packed nutrients can be found, like in nuts and seeds, versus a lot of water content in watermelon. So the nutritional density is another aspect of the nutrition. Then we should think about moderation. Food should be taken in moderate amount. If it's taken in very low amount, we can have malnutritional problems, while if it is taken in excessive amount, it can invite some of the health hazards. So they say the same food which can be a life force and very important for our body can also become a slow poison if it is taken in a very excessive amount or even almost not taken at all. So be leery about the proportion. Then talk about the varieties of the food. We should include different varieties of the food, not only for the fun and pleasure, but also to get enough nutrition and the broad spectrum aspect of it. And one more thing I would add is the spiritual part of the food. Food taken with the love as an ingredient, prepared nicely by enjoying the process of making it, and with a lot of vibrations, taken in a quiet area, quiet place, taken with the prayers. All those things do play a big part in our nutrition. So, having known all these stages and the basic information about the nutrition, I would just like to point out some key points. Over the period of many years, lots of studies have come and lots of diet plans have been put forth. But few key points have not changed. So let me bring those few points in front of you so that you can at least decide knowing that, because sometimes we get overwhelmed with a lot of nutritional information. But these key points have not changed. So let's talk about the key points. One, that all the natural foods do not necessarily mean healthy. There are some plants which are medicinal. The strongest part, strong medication of the heart, digoxin, comes from the plant. Marijuana comes from the plant. So naturally occurring doesn't automatically mean healthy. Same way, all the herbal supplements, they're not necessarily always healthy because they exist in different proportions in different leaves, but also they are not studied enough for us to trust them. So be a little cautious about it before you take them. Also eat the real food. This has never been challenged. The foods which are made in farms have been always superior than the foods which are made in factories. So try to eat the natural food from the farm which are edible, and also try to use minimally processed food and preferably made at home. Then let's talk about these components of the nutrition, just a little couple key points on that. Carbohydrates do not automatically are bad, they are not the evil part of the nutrition. Protein is not the best source of energy. Non-fat and the low fats are not always a healthy food and healthy choices. Sodium is not always bad. So keep those facts in the mind. Read the labels if you do buy processed food. Be cautious about it and understand the mechanism, how it's made. Also, eat with the love, enjoy the food. Once in a while you can shock your body a little and have a little fun. But slowly after you develop these habits, I guarantee you that eating the farm foods will be as delicious as some of the foods you have been craving about. It's how you think and how you process your mind and how you cultivate your habits. So these are the very important aspects of the nutrition. We'll be touching different aspects, different components in the following upcoming videos, and I'll go through each part of the macronutrients separately and micronutrients and everything separately. So the next one will be on macronutrients, each separately. Okay? Until then, I'll take your leave and keep you with these nutritional thoughts. Keep it in mind always. We are what we eat. Nice to talk to you. Please subscribe to my channel so that you can keep getting the updates and new videos. There is a bell sign next to subscribe button. Just press that. Also, I welcome all your comments and your inputs to make my mission even better. I would like to have your support in my greater mission. Thank you. Namaste. બંધ થઈ ગયું ને?